Team of Fluent Artists, what's happening? Come in, type your name in the chat. Want to let me know that you can hear me and see me. And I got my comments over here on the side. All right, want to know that y'all can hear me. It's a couple of minutes early. Man, I know we got some artists that need the closed caption. I'm trying to turn that on for you. And I don't see it at the moment, but I do see it on my phone though. And so on the phone, it's saying captions unavailable. I'm not sure if that's because it's a live. If anybody know how to turn the captions on, let me know in the chat. I was trying to do that. I don't see it. All right. But we're going to go ahead and start getting rocking and rolling. All right. So my name is Sharess. I am your host. EB. What's up, EB? Yeah, I was trying to take care of you, friend. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. I'm trying to get on the captions for you, friend. I don't see how to do it right now. See if you can turn it on your phone. I see the option as I got my phone up to the side for chat moderation. I'm doing this for you. All right. I want you to be able to hear me. So please let me know if you can. But you say, hey, I'm EB. So I'm guessing you catching something though. All right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Peace and much love, everybody. My name is Sharess, man. I am your host, and you are here because you want to sell some art. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to show you exactly how you can sell your art online. She said, that's all right. I'm using live captions. All right, perfect. My girl EB in there, we good. All right, Miss Rebecca. What's up, Miss Rebecca? She said captions unavailable, but you can hear me. Thank you. God bless y'all. I appreciate that. All right, let's get into it, man. Thank y'all. We got some great artists in here. I love the energy already. Let me share my screen. And let's get into why you are here. All right. I know you are here because you want to sell your art online. All right. Like these are fluent artists, like Tierra. She sold Galactic Jellies for $2,000. Jasmine, she got that check right there, said prints are the gifts that keep on giving. We also going to talk about Jasmine's story about how she was able to sell over $15,800 in 20 days. Type yes in the chat if you like to sell over $15,000 in 20 days. Man, and Jasmine, before she became a full-time artist, she was like, Sharess, I need to make 5K. Man, she ended up making $5,527 in the first week. Man, one of my favorite stories right there, Tierra, she taught her kids how to sell art when they were 2, 5, and 7 years old. My guy Jonte sold his $2,000 lamb piece. Most sales from Jasmine. Sales from my guy Joe Wood right here, 2K for this piece. All right, type yes in that chat, man. If you're ready to start selling some art online, regardless of the economy, we're going to show you the way. All right. So I'm really excited to do this presentation. I do these live, man. I love teaching, love serving. And this is my purpose, to help artists just like you start selling art like Z, like Diana right there, like my guy King Art. All right. And we always tell the truth about making money. That's why you see some of these artists got this cash on the table. Okay. We always tell the truth about getting these coins. All right. Tierra, Angels Among Strangers for 800. Miss Joy with that Canadian cash on the table. All right. So, man, one of the things that we're going to talk about here is this automated collector system, man. And artists are getting phenomenal results. So like Miss Anitra here, when she turned her system on with her Instagram art ads, she was able to get 37 new collectors in the first 72 hours. All right, man, type yes in the chat if you want to start advertising your art on Instagram and start to get new collectors coming to you quickly. Just type yes in the chat for me. And she was so excited. She sent me a message in the middle of the night. She said, Sharess, I truly apologize. And normally I wouldn't send a message this late, but I couldn't hold back the excitement. 19 total collector opportunities and 2 scheduled collector calls. All right. And so she went from having 0 people checking for her art online to instantly having people coming to buy her art. All right. And then she sent a message the following day. She said, by the way, your girl is up to 37 leads, 3 collector appointments. All right. And then, fun fact, man, she got over 504 new interested collectors in the first 25 days. EB said, yes, I do. Miss Rebecca said, yes. All right. What's up, ladies? Good to have y'all. All right. So you are in the right place. Okay. And so a fluent artist, Jasmine, man, her story really touched me because I'm an artist as well. And I know what it's like to be struggling to sell art. All right. We're going to get into my story in a bit. But Jasmine, she said, let me put this in perspective for you guys. Well, she said, I'm a little late on this post, but 2 weeks ago, I secured not one but two contracts with two different businesses for $7,500 each. Let me put this in perspective for you guys. For years, I gave away my art for free. I joined the Fluent Artist January last year. 1 year ago, I was still selling most of my original art for $200. And my biggest sale this time last year was $500 to a hospital. This month, if I make no more money for the next 10 days, I will have total to make $15,800. I am floored. I never thought this was possible for me. She said, thank you, Sherez, for giving us the tools to make this passion into a business and for investing your time into my life. Thank you to the other Fluent artists. It's the community that fuels the fire. I type yes in the chat if you want to be able to sell over $15,000 in 20 days. If you like the system to be able to accomplish these type of outcomes, okay? So proud of Jasmine, man. Went for giving her art away for free, didn't even really understand the value to selling over 15K. And now she's rocking and rolling, man. She got her art on buses up there in Connecticut, where she's from. People are starting to recognize her and they see her all the time because of her art ads. Man, it's just a powerful transformation, man. I'm so happy for her. And Jasmine, she's an affluent artist, all right? So maybe y'all will get to meet her if you decide to join our community. And so my goal with this presentation is very simple, all right? I want to help you become an affluent artist. And so if you are a new artist, you'll get a step-by-step blueprint on how to create art that sells itself on Instagram so you can become an affluent artist that collectors love to buy and tell everyone about. If you are a master artist among us, you'll get the affluent artist secrets on how to smoothly transition to selling your art online at higher prices, keep more of your money, and get the worldwide recognition and status that you deserve from the art industry. Then every affluent artist gets access to the new artwork app that makes it simple to sell your art and keep collectors buying over and over again, okay? And so this is a new opportunity, and it's the key to your desire to consistently sell art online, but it's only achievable by becoming an affluent artist. If I help you become an affluent artist so you can make more money selling art, type yes in the chat if you'll promise to spend a little bit of that with me and my company in the future. I just type yes in the chat for me, okay? And so, man, let me get into a little bit of my backstory. My name is Sherez, and like many of you, I've been an artist my entire life. The picture at the top left, that's little Sherez right there. When I was a kid, man, I used to love drawing and painting. I used to draw all the characters on the cereal boxes. I used to love drawing the cartoons. The Ninja Turtles were some of my favorite. And this picture in the bottom left, that's a portrait I drew of my son for his first birthday, okay? It was young me and knew him. And the picture over to the right, man, I'm a hooper. I played Division I college basketball. I absolutely love hooping. And I know that's when my desire to assist and help other people come, all right? Man, getting money and getting buckets is really fun, but dropping off dimes and helping other people is really fly to me too, okay? Now, when I was in college though, man, take you back to the beginning, I didn't have any collectors, sales skills, you can forget about it. Plus, my house burned down the day after Christmas. I lost all of my art, and my family, we lost everything in a house fire. And as you can imagine, man, I was really devastated. And I ended up becoming a starving artist dropout in 2007. And so as you can imagine, man, I dropped out of college. I was depressed. My family lost everything. We staying with different family members. So my confidence was really low. It was really hard to sell art and break into the art industry. And so I became obsessed with mastering business online. I was like, man, I can't go out like this. I don't want to be a starving artist. I really want to sell my art full time and make some money, okay? And so I knew the first thing I needed was a mentor though, right? And I know that's why you're here as well. I knew I needed a mentor because I couldn't figure this stuff out on my own. And so I ended up writing a letter to 19 multi-millionaire entrepreneurs that had internet businesses. And essentially I sold myself for them to hire me to help them market and sell their products and services. And the first gentleman that responded was this guy by the name of Mike Canis right here. And so Mike hired me, and long story short, we created a product launch and marketing campaign for his product. And we ended up selling $1,800,000 in 7 days, all right? Listen, you heard that right. That's almost $2 million in just a week. I was blown away about that outcome. And I ended up writing my first best-selling book, How to Create Lifetime Customers, about how we created that outcome for his marketing campaign. And since then, I've spoken all over the world, teaching people how to sell their products and services online. This is me speaking at an event right here. I've also helped celebrities like Cynthia Bailey launch their products and services. Y'all may know Cynthia Bailey from one of the Real Housewives seasons. And I've helped a lot of creators just like you make money selling their products and services. Now, even with all of this success I had consulting, I still had my personal dreams of being a full-time artist. All right. Put yes in the chat if you still want to be a full-time artist. I know many artists come here, they're working jobs, but they want to go full-time. Okay. And so then I had an epiphany one day. I was like, man, I'm talking to all of these artists that's struggling to sell, and some months they selling, and next month they not, right? You have these drops. I call that the income roller coaster where your money's going up and down like this. And I was like, man, that simply means you don't have a consistent flow of collector leads and sales coming to you, right? Like you might be posting on social media right now and you might be getting crickets. You might get a few likes, a few comments, but you're not really getting any buyers, or you're not really getting any new collectors' name, emails, and phone number on your list. And so I was like, what would happen if I applied those #1 best-selling internet marketing and sales principles to fine art? So I had a crazy plan. I said, you know what? We got to put this stuff to the test. I'm going to host my very first art event with a goal to sell out the show. And so we did just that. All right. This is me with one of the collectors that came to the event. Man, they enjoying the wine, eating the hors d'oeuvres. We had the videographer and the photographer there. Man, it was a glorious event. But most importantly, we were selling. All right. We sold a piece for $2,000 at my very first art show. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell your first and next piece for $2,000 at a show. All right. And so my friend Melissa, she's an affluent artist, and she was at that first event. And when she posted this on IG, at the bottom, she said, flashback to this dope art investors event by Sheress May. All of these pieces sold and have already doubled in value. All right. And so while we at this event having a great time, y'all, I realized that we had some very real problems. The first problem was doing it the old way. It cost me over $5,000 up front to do my own art event. And I know every artist just don't have $5,000 laying around to, put on shows and go find venues and, hire people to do the music and everything that it come with putting on a really good event, right? Also, when we were selling the art, I realized that artists were using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Square, taking cash, really anything that we could get our hands on to take a payment. Now, the problem with that is it left all of our art sales disorganized. Everything was very difficult to track because it's all on all these different platforms. The customers and the payments are on different platforms. Plus, the biggest problem was we couldn't easily follow up with the collectors that have just spent thousands of dollars with us, right? And so if you sell a piece on Cash App, man, you don't get the collector's phone number, you don't get their home or business address, and you definitely don't get their credit card on file so you can follow up with them and make easy future sales, right? So that's a big problem that a lot of artists don't even know they have, okay? And so this is what inspired the Affluent Artist Movement. Now, because I couldn't find a solution, I had to create a new way for you to have 100% unlimited access to your collector's information and a tool that makes everything easy to sell your art on and offline. Because as an affluent artist, you need one system that accepts payments up to $1 million. You should be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You want to be able to track your artwork sales and your collector information in one place. Ideally, collectors can buy your art with one click, like we buy things on Amazon. And we want collectors to be able to track their net worth in your art. And ideally, man, I want to bring interested collectors to you so you're not out running around trying to chase people to buy your art. All right. We want to put ourselves in a power position and bring those collectors to us. And so back to that first art show results. Okay. Now, I did not reach my goal of selling 100% of the artwork, but I did sell 2/3 of the artwork. Most importantly, every artist made money, and there were sales of $500, $1,500, and we had one artwork sale for $2,000 at that very first event. Okay. And so then we took this show on the road. So this is a picture of me and some of my friends down in Miami for Art Basel, because artists started hearing about the success that we had at that very first art show. And I had just got back in the game, right? And now they didn't know I was a best-selling author. And so I'm using all of these marketing skills that I learned about selling millions of dollars worth of product online. And so we started consulting different artists at Art Basel, and they were making sales. And so I was getting excited. I was like, okay, this stuff is very clearly working offline. What would happen if we started helping artists sell their art online? All right. And so I ended up getting a small group of artists together at first. It was about 10 artists. And Chris Smith, she was one of them. And so Chris, she had a very small list of only 32 collectors. Okay. And we sent out one email and she got 13 art sales with that one email. Type yes in the chat if you like to get 13 or more art sales from just sending out one email. Okay. Type yes in the chat and let me know. I know some artists got an email list of collectors, some don't. But man, that email list of collectors and you building that relationship with them, that's the most valuable asset in your art business, okay? And then we help Santana. Santana got a $360 commission. And so when we get money in our community, man, we call it Money Monday. You see, she put sold Money Monday, all right? And then my guy Dwayne, he said sold another piece of art gone like the wind, all right? Another one. That's like DJ Khaled, all right? So he sold this piece for $365. I see Miss Rebecca with the yes. And so artists, if you struggle, listen, it's not your fault. I went to art school. Like I went to the College of Art and Design up in Chicago, and I had some incredible teachers. I was really impressed and inspired by a lot of my classmates. Now, while they might give you 3, 4, 5 art history classes, they don't teach you anything about selling, marketing, or building collector relationships. And so if you've been struggling to sell your art, it's literally not your fault because nobody is teaching us how to do this, okay? And then I was like, all right, listen, we getting collectors online now. And I was like, man, let's start to get some collectors 24/7 on autopilot. I want to really put my marketing chops to the test. But the solution was hard and expensive to create. I got to be straight with you. I ended up blowing over $30,000 in over a year hiring 2 dev teams to create artwork, and they didn't even finish the app, all right? That's a whole nother story for another day. And so I invested every penny to my name, so I really thought about giving up. But I knew going back to the old way wouldn't work for me. I just did that art event. And so I found a 3rd dev team, and I said, I'm going to try one more time, all right? Because I don't even really know how to quit, all right? Affluent Artist, listen, man, that new artwork app, in that automated collector system I created, it started working so well that many artists were selling art within the first 7 days. And so here's a Affluent Artist, Kira. She sold her first piece in only 19 hours after we showed her how to sell, all right? And I was so excited about her story because she was 18 at the time. She was just getting out of high school, and she didn't really want to go to college. She wanted to focus on selling art. And so when she sold this piece for 19 hours, and in the first 19 hours, I was blown away because I was like, man, we can help any artist. It doesn't matter how young they are or, how inexperienced they may be with selling. So y'all show Kira some love in the comments. Like imagine if you were this young and you had people investing into your art career and your dreams, like where you could be right now, okay? And then Affluent Artist Z, my guy Z, he said, hey team, I haven't had a chance to report on my record-breaking success this past week. He ended up selling 7 prints and got deposits for 8 commissions in 1 week. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell 7 prints and get multiple commission deposits in a single week. I type yes in the chat. And then Affluent Artist Jen. Jen, she watched this class that you on right now. She's a single mother of 4 kids, and she sold a piece in a little over 24 hours. So she said, it took a little longer than 24 hours, but I had my first sale. It's amazing how much money I left on the table by not following up, all right? And if you got collectors right now that you haven't been following up with, and trying to sell them new art, you literally got a gold mine waiting on you to dig it up, okay? And Jen, she continued to take action and invest in her career. So she got actually invited to present at Art Basel. And so she sold this piece, Breakthrough 2, for $5,840 at Art Basel. Type yes in the chat. If you want to sell art at your fairs or your shows, just type yes in the chat, or Art Basel. Some of y'all might have been to Art Basel. I know we've had plenty of artists come on here and say they was at Art Basel and they need to help selling at these live events. And then because Jen continued to invest into herself, she actually got invited to London to learn from the Sotheby's Art Business Institute of Art, all right? Type yes in the chat if you'd like to go to London like Jen did to learn from Sotheby's and Christie's on how they're selling billions of dollars worth of art every year, all right? Everybody should be saying yes in the chat, man. I know I want to go to learn from Sotheby's and Christie's like Jen, all right? But lucky for me, I got her inside of our community, okay? And so we are rocking and rolling, man. I want to see some yeses coming through in the chat. All right. In any event, that screen dropped on where we're going to keep rolling. All right. And so after having that experience and creating artwork and helping all kind of artists around the world transform into affluent artists, I realized we no longer had to wait for galleries to accept us or wait on word of mouth to sell art or already have a big following on social media. That old way of being a starving artist was dead, all right? And so if you're here right now, you want to become a full-time artist, this is literally your golden ticket to a full-time successful art career. Now, in order to do this, I need something from you, and that's one simple word, belief, okay? I will give you the solution to become a full-time affluent artist, but you have to believe you can and put it into action, all right? And so if you believe you can, put I believe in the chat right now. If you believe in yourself to be able to accomplish this, put I believe in the chat. Because nothing hurts me more than giving you the game, then seeing you weeks, months, or years later clinking to the same starving artist problems, okay? And so if you want to get like Bresha Jones, she set a goal to make over $12,000 in the first quarter, but she actually exceeded that goal and sold over $13,000 instead. Type yes in the chat if you want to start surpassing your sales goals like Bresha. And she said, keep going, motivation, affluent artist. Miss Rebecca says she believed. I love it, all right? And so because of all the success would happen, the word started spreading fast. And so some senators from the country of Barbados ended up flying me into the country to help those artists sell their art to a global marketplace of collectors, okay? They wanted, so as you can imagine, when the pandemic was around us about 6 years ago, tourism dried up, so people weren't coming, the artists weren't selling, right? And so they brought me in to help them, show them how to use this same system, teach you so they can start getting sales instead of waiting on people to come to them, all right? And then also, I got invited to speak at BlackRock about investing in art. And you may or may not know, but BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with over $10 trillion in asset under management, okay? And so type yes in the chat if you want to be connected with collectors that look at your art as an investment and they want to buy your art for premium prices, okay? That's the thing, when you start working with high income collectors and companies like BlackRock, man, they want to buy your stuff at a high price just so they can brag about it. And that's also a perception of their value, okay? So you want to make sure that y'all raising your prices and you selling your art at high prices with confidence, okay? And so after over 20 years in business and literally helping artists sell worldwide, type yes in the chat if you know it's your turn to get new collectors and sell your art online. All right, type yes in the chat. I want to see some yeses coming through. If you're ready to get new collectors and sell your art online, because we about to get into these 3 secrets. And once you discover these, you will have the keys to get new collectors online so you can accomplish your dream vision for your art, all right? And so with these secrets, make sure you get a pen and pad because you can start selling art for over $5,008 like Bresha Jones from these new high-income collectors. All right, type yes in the chat if you're ready to sell art for $5,000 or more, okay? All right, now I don't know your price point, but I'm going to show you what's possible. You see Bresha, motivation, Money Monday, affluent artist. All right, let's get it, all right? So these are the 3 secrets to selling your art online. Secret number 1, how to make your artwork speak for itself and sell for $2,000 or more on Instagram, okay? So when I went to Art Basel, listen, when I go to these places, man, I always got a hit list of people I want to talk to, right? And so I started talking to all of these so-called industry experts, and literally all of them were trying to discourage me. Well, Sherez, you dropped out of college. Nobody really knows your name. You just getting back into the art industry. It's going to be difficult for you to sell art for maybe more than a few $100, all right? If that sounds familiar, somebody trying to discourage your art dreams, put me in the chat, all right? Just put me in the chat if it sounds familiar, okay? Now, if you've experienced this, I want to let you know I'm on the other side of this, so I believe in your creative dreams, okay? I know that you can become an affluent artist and start making the money that you want to make to with your God-given talent. And so let's play a quick little game. Have some fun with me called Could You Do It Better, all right? Just type yes or no in the chat if you think you can do it better, all right? Want to see some yeses or some nos? Let me know if you think you can do this piece better, all right? So this piece is by Van Gogh, and it's titled Portrait of Dr. Gachet, all right? It's Portrait of Dr. Gachet. Now, why is this piece famous, affluent artist? It is famous because of the story, all right? And the story you create for your artwork, it has to touch your collector's emotions, all right? So I know many of us, we were taught to sell our art for higher prices, or we were taught to price our art based on time and size, right? But when you think about that, it don't really make a lot of sense, right? So the time one, you know, as an artist, the more time you spend on your craft, you get better, you get faster, you get more efficient. And so it don't really make sense to charge less because you're getting done with work quicker, right? It don't really make sense. And then the size one, we know wall art, like this Biggie piece behind me, often sells for more than murals on the side of buildings, right? So it ain't even really about the size. The way I teach you how to sell your art for higher prices is all about creating your very own art story, okay? ART story. This is an acronym. Make sure you write this down and take notes on how to do this, okay? And so I discovered this secret, man, from affluent artist Melissa. So she was one of the artists at our very first art show. And you see, she has her art behind her presented very professionally All right. And she also creates wearable art. So she's wearing her art as well. So people are always asking her about her creations. Now, while we were at this event, Melissa was the only artist that had these incredible stories for each one of her pieces. Okay. And so when she was speaking on the mic, collectors were literally on the edge of their seats, like eating up every word. And watching and I'm paying attention, and I'm like, man, that is incredible. And so I'm just listening. I'm like, yo, she got everybody really eating up all of these stories that she created. Okay. And so this is how we were actually able to sell that first piece for $2,000 at the very first event. And so the collector, he didn't have a clue who she was. And so I was like, why did he invest? Right. He didn't know anything about her art brand. He had never seen her art before. This was his first time being introduced to her and her creativity. And so I was like, man, why did you invest $2,000 in an artist that you don't know? And he simply said, Sharess, I think the art is great, but it was the story. Okay. It was the story. And so if you're experiencing this problem where you posting your art online and you're getting very little engagement, or you're getting a lot of engagement, but you're not getting any sales, literally all you got to do is add your art story like Jasmine did right here. Okay. So she says, so I posted this piece that I'm still working on last night, and I sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. this morning. Gratitude. Art story and organic conversation building relationships really work. And she sold this in her first 7 days. Okay. And so this is powerful. And so if you see the power in this, put pre-order in the chat. All right. She pre-sold this piece before the original was done. Put pre-order in the chat. All right. And so if you're an artist right now, you literally can do what I'm about to teach you with this art story. You can still be working on the originals, and you can start pre-selling it before the art is done. Okay. Type yes in the chat if you're here and you want to sell your first and next piece for over $1,000 for like Miss Raquel. I was so excited, man. She put 5 exclamations on there when she sold that piece for $1,000. And then Brisha Jones, man, she was speechless when she sold Fearless Expanded for $6,209. Type yes in the chat if you want to sell art for over $6,000 like Brisha Jones. All right. And I want to read a little bit of this story here because it's going to really give you an understanding of the power of your art story. Okay. So Brisha said, I'm really still speechless, but this is significant for a lot of reasons. One, this is the biggest and highest art piece I ever sold. And she was talking a lot about her abstract journey. So this was a big deal for her, okay, to sell an abstract piece for over $6,000 and break her personal sales record. And so these collectors, I want to read a little bit about what they said about what made them invest into Brisha and her piece, Fearless Expanded. So she said, my husband and I had a hard week and an already pretty messed up year. I know we're not special in any regards. Everything seems hard right now for everyone. When my husband and I saw your painting, we first both said, wow, we love that. And then we talked about how it made us feel. Hope, moving out of our comfort zone, leaving a bad year and entering a new place. Fearlessness. When we read your thoughts on it as well, it just seemed like we needed it in our home. Thank you for painting this beautiful piece. It will be the conversation piece of the many meals we share with friends as we embrace a new era in the world, one of expanding fearlessness. Okay. So type yes in the chat if you see how the story, the art story Brisha created for Fearless Expanded, it touched what the collectors were going through in their lives, and it made them want to buy that piece at any price. Okay. Just type yes in the chat if you see the power of that art story. Okay. All right. Make sure you get your pen and pads out. Take notes because I'm about to break down this art story acronym, and you can start using the power of your story today. All right. So A equals art star. Who's the art star in your art story? All right. Who's a star in your story? Every story has to have a star. R equals the role. What's the art star's role in your art story? What do they want to do? What are they trying to accomplish in the story? Okay. And then T equals twist. What's the emotional twist in your art story? All right. And so if you like a good movie like me, you know, if they're well done, man, they have you sitting on the edge of your seat trying to figure out what's going to happen next. Okay. And so we can use these same concepts in our visual art. Okay. So write that down. ART. All right. And so I want to show you how Van Gogh used the power of his art story to sell this piece for an astronomical price at auction. Okay. And so who's the art star? That's Dr. Gachet. All right. What's Dr. Gachet's role? He's Van Gogh's doctor. And what's the twist of Fluent Artist? The twist is the doctor may have killed Van Gogh. All right. And so you can imagine, man, that's a crazy twist in the story if you painted a portrait of your killer, right? If your last piece you painted was somebody who killed you, man, people were going crazy about this story. They were really trying to figure out, like, it was a whodunit murder mystery. And the story became so talked about that when it went to auction, it ended up selling for a record-breaking $82.5 million at Christie's, okay? All right, so I want to have some fun real quick and draw a quick little line in the sand. I want you to type, if you want to sell art for millions of dollars like me, put 82.5 M in the chat, all right? Put 82.5 M in the chat, because I want to make millions with my art. I know some artists here, they want to sell for a couple hundred, couple thousand, $5,000, maybe even $10,000 or more, all right? But if you want to make millions, put 82.5 M. You can put the money bag emoji. You can put the smiley with the money tone. Just let me know in the chat if you really want to get these M's with your art, okay? All right, now becoming an affluent artist and creating your art story allows your art to truly sell itself for higher prices. It's all about that story. So type yes in the chat if you can see how your art story helps you sell more art. All right, if you get good at storytelling, man, your art would really truly begin to sell itself and touch people's emotions and stir up their spirit, and they're gonna want to buy it, okay? Just type yes in the chat. Also, pro tip, if you feel like you're not that great at storytelling, you can use ChatGPT and get the AI to help you with the story as well. I see EB with the money bags. Let's get it. Let's get it, EB. All right. And so, artists, this works for you if you are a painter, a sculptor, if you do acrylic pours, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, also AI art, drawings, ceramics, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all prices, okay? And so using the power of her art story, Melissa sold 100% of her available artwork while we were at that event, all right? And it was all about the power of her story. She was the only artist that sold out, and it was because she had a story for each one of her pieces, all right? And so if y'all want to start selling out and breaking your sales records, make sure you create stories for your art, all right? Man, we are rocking and rolling, all right? So let's go secret number 2 to these 3 secrets of selling art online. How to sell art to collectors that buy with one click on a new, easy-to-use app, all right? Now, I got to tell y'all a quick story because this piece represents a turning point in my career as an artist and a collector, all right? And it got a lot to do with why you are listening to me today, okay? Now, I ran into one of my old classmates from the College of Art and Design, and he invited me to his art show. And so I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector, and I love investing into artists in my local community, okay? And so when he invited me to the show, it was a no-brainer. I'm like, man, I'm in there. So I go to the show. He had some beautiful work, but I absolutely fell in love with this piece right here, right? Like, I love the pastel colors. I love the hair. I love the haircut. The earrings are fly. I like the profile. I even like the signature. Like, everything was really dope to me about this piece. And so when I stepped to my friend, I was like, yo, man, I want to buy this. And I'm practically like pressing my business credit card into his chest. And what he said next, my mouth hit the floor. He said, Sharess, I can't take your money because people usually cash at me. And I couldn't believe it. Like, he literally turning down money for a painting, talking about people usually cash at him, okay? Type me in the chat if you've ever had to turn down a collector's money because you couldn't take the payment. Just put me in the chat, all right? We family here. It's all good if you did it. I just told you about it, so it's cool, all right? We're going to help you solve that problem. But put me in the chat if you've ever experienced that. Because turning down money is definitely the old, slow, hard, and expensive way to sell art because you're giving away cash, all right? And so rule number 1 is get paid. Everybody put get paid in the chat. I don't care what you do, you got to get paid. No matter how you got to take the payment, rule number 1 is get paid. Make sure that you can always get paid. We cannot be turning down coins, okay? Because if you in 2026, it's June 2026, and you can't take payments, we got to step your game up, all right? As an affluent artist, you got to step your game up, all right? And it's then, if you're using tools like Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, it's cool to get paid, but at certain price points, collectors not going to want to do business with you because they can't get a receipt, right? I don't want to send you $10,000 for a Cash App. I don't get a receipt for that. I don't get any kind of shipping tracking. If you don't ship the art, I can't be made whole. Like, I can't get the money back from my credit card company, right? So using these tools is good to get paid, but at certain points, it's going to hold you back, okay? And then social selling. When you post it on social media, dropping a picture of your art, and then you say something like email or DM me for price, right? Dropping that photo, put guilty in the chat if you've ever dropped a picture on social and said email or DM me for price and you got crickets. I just put guilty in the chat. Have some fun with me, okay? And then taking orders on paper. Listen, if you're still taking orders on paper in 2026, you got to step your game up, all right? We got to present yourself as a professional artist. And then applying and paying for shows. So I know some artists, they're applying, they're paying for these shows, and it's profitable for them, all right? And so if you're making money with this, keep doing that, double down on that. But some artists, man, they rent out trucks, they rent out vans, they applying and paying for these shows, they're not selling anything, and they got to take everything back home. All right, that is for the birds. All right, if you're doing that, we don't want you to keep doing it, okay, and wasting that money and that time. And then also putting your art on these marketplaces and even on your website sometimes, but you're not getting any sales. You don't know if collectors are coming. You don't know how long they stand. All you know is you haven't sold anything in a long time, okay? And so we created artwork to solve all of these problems for you. It's going to make it simple and easy for you to sell your art online, access a global marketplace of collectors that got their credit cards on file so they can buy with one click, okay? And so let me show you how fast artists are selling art and getting results with this. And so Tierra, she said, I just uploaded some of my original art on the app a couple of days ago, and about 30 minutes ago, got a notification that one of my pieces sold. Still in shock a bit at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. She said, thank you, Sherez, for perfecting the app. It definitely is a game changer for us as artists, okay? And so I'm going to show you a quick little artwork demo on our demo account here. And it's going to show you how easy it is to add your art to artwork, access a global marketplace of collectors, and show you how easy and simple it is for them to buy your art with one click.
Hey, my name is Sherez May. I want to give you a quick demo of the Artwork app. So the Artwork app does two very simple things, all right? If you are an artist, it allows you to sell your art, get collectors all over the world, and manage all of the most important key metrics in your business. And if you are a collector, it makes it simple for you to buy art with the click of a button and track the value of your art collection, all right? And so I'm going to show you the artist side of the dashboard first, then I'll pause and take you to the collector side. So when you're logged in as an artist and you're on your sales dashboard, you'll see your gross revenue, how many pieces you sold, what's the average price, all right? And this sales graph will show you your sales over any amount of time. Right here, you can set a sales goal. If you set it for $100,000, if you made some sales today, that number will be in blue at the top. And this dial will show you how much you've made. We haven't made any sales today. This is our test account. And if you hover over it, you can see how many sales you made today. And it's really simple to add a new goal as well. As you start making sales, you'll see your top sellers right here. So you see it by name, how many pieces you sold in case you have prints or multiples, and you'll see how much revenue you made from each piece. Right here under your new orders tab, you'll see your latest orders. And so you stay on top of what needs to be shipped out. Down here at the bottom, you'll see your top collectors. So you'll see them by name, how many pieces they own in their collection, and how much money they've invested with you in your art business, all right? And then once you go to your artwork tab, this is where you'll see all of the art that you have listed on the site, ready for sale, and also in the marketplace for collectors to buy with one click. So let's say you want to add art. It's very simple. You click add artwork. You just have to fill out these fields right here. And once you click save, it'll save it. I'm just going to close that. If you want to email it to a collector, you can click share offer, enter your collector's email, send the offer. Email is already pre-written. They can click directly to the link and buy your art. If you like to copy a link, you can copy it as normal and send it via text message or share it on social media. And also, if you want to delete your product, it's very simple and easy to delete. As collectors begin buying art from you, you will see collectors in your dashboard. So you see all of the information right here, so you can contact with them and follow up with them and make future sales. If you click on their dashboard, you'll see a list of all of the art they purchased from you here. As your orders start coming through, you'll see your order and payment history right here. So you see if they were successful or failed transactions, all right, who bought it, the artwork, the purchase amount, and the date. And then as your money is being in transit to your bank account and deposited, you will also see your payouts here, all right? And so when you want to begin buying as a collector, all you have to do is click switch to collector, and it'll take you to the collection side of the marketplace, all right? And again, this is our test marketplace right here, but I'm going to pause for a moment to show you how simple it is to buy as a collector. So now I'm logged into the app as our test collector. And so you see when art is sold out, it'll be sold out in the marketplace, all right? And you can just scroll through the marketplace to check out all of the art that's available on the dashboard. All right. And so let's say if you want to buy something, it's very simple. You can click buy now. And we have your card on file. You can choose which card you want to use. If you need to add a new one, you can do that. But let's say we want to select this card. We click confirm order. And it's that simple. All right. It's purchased. And so now if you want to go check your collection, you can click collection. And it'll take you to your collection. You see, we just purchased this one right here. All right. So you can see all of your active collection. And as you are buying from artists, you can also see the artist that you're purchasing artwork from. All right. So I'm going to go back to the marketplace real quick. And let's say if you want to add it to your cart, you can add it to your cart. So you want to get a couple in there. And you can easily check your shopping cart and go to the checkout page and buy all of the pieces at the same time. So it's a very simple tool for artists to sell their art and also for collectors to buy and track the value of their collection as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Talk to you soon.
All right. Type yes in the chat. Show me some love, man. If you like how simple and easy it is to use artwork, okay? Type yes in the chat. Show me some love in the chat. All right. So I want to answer a few FAQs. So first, artists, you set your own price. We like to write our art story and add that to the description. So when a collector goes to the product page, they'll see the story, okay? Artists, you'll ship it directly to the collector. And then sales, you get paid fast. So sales deposit into your account in 24 to 48 hours. And then artwork gets a small 10% commission, okay? And so I know we got new artists and some master artists, man. So I like to cover all different price points and styles. And so Jen, she sold Purpose for over $1,000 on artwork. Tierra sold Bright Future, love the pastels in that one. And then Christina sold Veil of Night on artwork. All right. And type yes in the chat, man. If you're ready to sell your first piece on artwork like Magdalena, she said, I'm very happy. Many thanks to my new collector. All right. She sold Natural for $1,850. Okay. And so artists, now I've shown you how using the artwork app allows you to easily sell more art online and keep all of your prices, collector, and business information in one place. Type yes in the chat if you can see how this saves you time, money, and makes it simple for you to manage your art business like a professional or fluent artist. I just type yes in the chat. All right, type yes in the chat. Let's rock and roll. All right. Now, this is the third secret to selling your art online. Now, if you haven't taken a note yet, make sure you get your pen and pad out, man, because this is a fan favorite. Secret number 3, how to attract the collector spending millions on art with Sotheby's using Instagram and AI. All right. So after our first wave of Fluent Artist success, I knew I wanted to help more artists get high income collectors online with AI and online ads. And so I've seen artists struggling to make sales with their posts inside these social media and these art groups, because, you know, like I know, likes do not equal sales, right? Put yes in the chat if you know likes don't equal money. Okay. And then I love friends and family sales, but sometimes they run out, right? But like Tierra, she sold the Galactic Jellies for $2,000 right here to a friend. Mr. Emmanuel, he sold this piece for $500 to a sister at his local church. All right. But sometimes these friends and family sales can run out. And sometimes we need to get some global exposure, right? We need to get some global exposure. All right. And so put global in the chat if you're ready to start selling art to more people in your city or state, more people in the country, or if you do, in fact, want to start selling art to other parts of the world. I just put global in the chat, okay? Now, because of my experience buying ads on social media, I knew there was only one place I needed to go to get ready to buy collectors. I see you, Ivan, with the global. Let's get it, Ivan. All right? And that's Instagram, all right? Everybody got an Instagram account, okay? And so listen, if you brand new to advertising online, man, this stuff is simple, man, all right? Christy, she was new. She had never put together an Instagram ad, all right? She said, okay, I'm about to cry right now. On my own way of selling, I would have gotten $200 for this piece. It would have taken me a while to even get that. So I followed the steps of this course. I made an ad. She spent $7, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she sold her piece for $700. And it only took her a few hours to sell. If you want to get specific, she sold a $700 piece for $7.53 of advertising. All right. Put yes in the chat if you think that's a good investment to spend $7 and sell a piece for $700 or more. I just put yes in the chat. I will put cents in the chat, CENTS, if that makes sense to you, like that makes sense to me, okay? And then I want you, I don't know your sales price, but put in your price, all right? Think about what you could get selling art for your prices, all right? This was new for her. She was used to selling it for $200, so $700 is a lot for her. $700 might be a little for you, so put in your own price. I see the yeses coming through, Ivan and Rebecca, all right? And so she got a $700 sale in only a few hours after advertising, and she made over $2,350 in her first 3 weeks. All right, she was brand new to this. And so if she can do it, y'all, always remember success leaves clues. You can do it as well, okay? If these brand new artists that didn't have any experience can do it, you can do it too. And so Forbes, man, they end up dropping an article that said with the Sotheby's $363.2 million sale, the art market passed the first major test of the pandemic. So people were really concerned about if people could sell art online, all right, when they were. Sotheby's had 363 million results to say yes. And then Business Insider said for now, the art world has gone digital. And for some, that's a good thing. And for some, that's us, the affluent artists, okay? So Artsy, they're an online art marketplace. They said they saw a 92% increase in e-commerce sales in April, and interest from galleries increased by 60%. Yes, we are live, living and loving. Well, let's get it. Live and in full effect, all right? And so I want to show y'all a few examples, man, of like some powerful stuff of what you can do right now, okay? And so when we want to start advertising on Facebook and Instagram, I want you to look at these two red boxes, okay? And the top red box says the United States. All right, so I live in Atlanta, Georgia. And so wherever you are in the country, I want you to start in your country primarily because the shipping can be a headache trying to ship it to different countries, okay? But you literally can advertise to any country that has Facebook and Instagram, all right? In the bottom red box, you see we advertise in the Sotheby's. So Sotheby's, type yes in the chat if it makes sense to you to advertise to those collectors that we saw spent that $363.2 million on Sotheby's. They put yes in the chat because that makes sense to me. All right. If people are spending millions on art, I want to put my money, my art in the flow of that money. All right. Type yes if that makes sense to you. If that makes sense to you, like it makes sense to me, we can click that green create ad button right there. And it's going to take us to a place called detailed targeting. Okay. Detailed targeting. When we get to the detailed targeting section, if we type in the word financial, everybody put financial in the chat, it's going to show us all of the wealthiest collectors that like Sotheby's, all right? So look what it says. Household income, top 5%. Household income, top 10%. And then the top 10 to 50% of the household income earners that like Sotheby's, that's spending these millions of dollars worth of art, okay? That's what happens when you put that word financial in the chat, okay? And so if this is blowing your mind right now, this is new wisdom to you, and you didn't know that you could target high-income collectors that's already spending millions, man, put wow in the chat. Put the mind-blown emoji in the chat. Let me know how you feeling in the chat, okay? All right. So meta ads are not difficult if you're doing it the way that I show you how to do it, okay? I can understand. I don't know who your previous coaches or teachers were, but we got it on a string, living and loving, all right? Meta ads is really simple and easy for us, okay? I see the financial coming through with Ivan. Let's get it, man. Put wow in the chat. Put the mind-blown emoji in the chat. Let me know, man, if you are blown away that you can target high-income collectors, all right? Let me show you a couple of more examples, okay? Boom. So right here, Art Basel. So I don't know if y'all ever been to Art Basel, but I have. Man, to go to Art Basel, you got to get a flight, hotel. You got to pay for the food. You got to get the ticket to go to the convention center down in Miami. Everywhere you go, they got shops and pop-up experiences. It is a really, really dope experience in Miami, Art Basel, okay? And so if collectors are spending money at Art Basel, and you got to buy the art, right? We can't forget about buying the art. And Art Basel, man, they selling art for all kind of price points. But when you go to that convention center, man, they got art for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars, okay? And so if we want to put our art in front of the collectors that's spending millions at Art Basel, all we got to do, target the Art Basel brand, put that financial layering on, and then we could target the top 5% of income earners. We could target the top 10% of income earners, and we could target the top 10 to 50% of income earners, all right? I see some wows and some mind blown in the chat. Let's get it, man. This is easy, okay? And then we saw the Business Insider article said Artsy had a 92% increase in e-commerce sales. And so it makes sense for me to start targeting those collectors that's spending money online with brands like Artsy. And so all we got to do is go to the detailed targeting section, type in that word financial. We can target the top 5% income earning of collectors that like artsy, the top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of collectors that's spending the most money with artsy, okay? This is a game changer right here, okay? Because when you start doing this, artists, now we have what I call the keys to success. Because if you want to sell art, every collector has to have these two things. First, they got to have the willingness to buy art, right? So you got to know that these collectors actually like art. And if we target brands like Artsy, Art Basel, and Sotheby's, we know that you love art, okay? Now, the second thing is equally as important. We got to put that financial layer on because we need to make sure these collectors have the ability to buy art, all right? And so when you do this type of access changes everything. You can literally put your art in front of people that are already spending money on art, okay? And so affluent artists are using this system to sell art worldwide. And so Nisha, she is Indian. She says, Sharess, your system rocks. I got another celeb lead as a result of my ads, and we spoke on the phone, and the person is willing to buy. And she's the first artist to sell her art in Indian rupees, all right, which I think is pretty dope. Miss Valerie, affluent artist Valerie, she sold $3,250 from her ads, all right? And so this is a grandmother. She's a senior. If she can use Meta ads to sell art, I know you can do it as well, okay? And then Christy, she was brand new to advertising. She spent $45 on ads and she made over $1,400 in a day and a half. So she said, I spent $45 and ran the ad a day and a half. I received over 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and about 300 messages. I got 14 sales and about 10 possibles. So in a day and a half, $45 and 14 hours work, I pulled $1,400. She said, I hope everyone in this group realizes we struck gold. I'm grateful for this program, Affluent Artists for Life, all right? And so this is powerful, man, when you learn how to advertise the way we show you how to do it. And then my man, Joe Woods, Affluent Artist Joe, he said, and this happened last night, so, man, type sleep money in the chat if you want to wake up to sales for $2,000 or more like my guy Joe. He sold a $2,000 piece from his ads while he was asleep. So again, when you start advertising online on Instagram and Facebook, your ads run 24/7 around the clock. And so that means collectors can always see it. And so Joe sold a piece $2K. He woke up to 2 G's, man. That's a good night's sleep right there. Put sleep money in the chat if you want to wake up to sales because your ads are working for you around the clock, all right? And so affluent artists, now I've shown you how to find wealthy, ready to buy collectors with AI and Instagram ads. As an affluent artist, type yes if you can see yourself using this secret to get high-paying collectors. Just type yes in the chat. If you can see yourself doing this, if these artists who are just getting started with this, if they can do it, you can absolutely do it too, okay? I see my man Ivan with the sleep money. Let's get it, all right? And so artists, so far you discovered how to create your art story to raise your prices like Brescia Jones, how artwork makes it easy to share your art via text, email, or social media. You discover how to sell art to a worldwide collectors marketplace. You discover how to get collectors to buy your art with one click. And you discover how to use financial layering to target high-income collectors, okay? And so knowing what you know now, do you feel more confident pricing your art? Just type yes in the chat if you feel much more confident to price your art, all right? Are you happy you attended this live class today? Just type yes in the chat if you're happy you attended this live class, okay? And do you realize the advantage you have as an artist using these techniques, all right? Just type yes in the chat. And can you see yourself using this to sell more art? Just type yes in the chat. And can you see yourself using this to get new collectors? I see the yes coming through, all right? And so artists, you got two choices, okay? Choice number one, you can do this on your own, and that's a worthy option to pursue, all right? You can start writing your art stories. You can get an artwork account, and you can also start advertising on Instagram. I know we got some brilliant artists here. That is a worthy option. But choice number two, you decide that you want to join our team and our community, becoming an affluent artist. You can have us responsible for your success to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month, all right? And so let me know, would this transform your life, okay? Just type yes in the chat. If you follow what I showed you in secret number one and use any art story so your art sells itself on Instagram, then you did what I revealed in secret number two, so you can use the artwork app to easily sell more of your art. And then you use secret number three to get access to the same high-paying collectors on Instagram that the rich auction houses and galleries attract. Do you think you could be successful? Just type yes in the chat if you think you could be successful, okay? And what if I helped you? Type yes if you would like my help. I see the yes coming through, all right? I would love to help you. So I want to introduce you to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. It is a fun and easy 5-step system for visual artists to raise prices and get 10 or more new collectors every single month online. All right. And so part number 1 is the Affluent Artist Masterclass. All right. It's a simple 5-step process. Step number 1 is mindset. This is where we teach you our millionaire mindset. Step number 2 is price. This is where we show you the luxury pricing method so you can charge your worth. Step number 3 is soul. This is where we teach you our cash collectors framework so you can start selling art before you spend money on ads. Step number 4 is collectors. This is where we show you how to create a collector community so you can build lifelong relationships with your collectors. And then step number 5 is marketing. This is where we show you how to advertise on Facebook and Instagram so you can get those high income collectors, okay? And so here's my guy, Christian, man. I want to share his testimony because this brother is such a dope artist. He created this piece behind him, but he was struggling to sell art. He was really thinking about quitting, man. But after he became an affluent artist, everything changed for him. So listen to his story.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's Christian Lamar here, and I'm a portrait artist from VA. Now I just want to tell y'all why I joined the Affluent Artist Masterclass. I went to a great art school and learned from some phenomenal artists, but they never taught me how to sell my work. So after I graduated, I struggled to the point of almost wanting to give up on my dream of being a professional artist. Well, this course changed all of that. It showed me how to turn my art into a business, and most importantly, how to sell online. So now I can sell to anyone, anywhere. And the results are super quick. I made my first sale within 30 hours of starting the program. It made just under $1,500 within the first 5 days. And now that I'm in week 4, I've made just over $4,000. And it's super easy to follow. If you're like me and you're ready to fulfill your dreams of being a professional artist, give the program a shot. And you also get to join a community of artists that share their experiences every day of what works. So join me in the family and become an affluent artist today. All right. Peace.
Shout out to my guy, Christian Lamar. All right. So this works for you if you are a painter, sculptor, you do acrylic pouring, jewelry, photography, mixed media, digital art, AI art, drawing, ceramic, collage, furniture, clothes, murals, metalworks, wearable art. It literally works for all affluent artists at all price points, okay? And so like Miss Joy here, she's up in Canada. She got $4,000 Canadian cash on the table using this system. I type yes in the chat if you want to start selling your art for 4K or more. Like Miss Joy here, my man Ivan said, peace, let's get it, fire peace, it is dope. And so again, artists, this works even if your art isn't ready. One of the things artists say is, oh, I need a portfolio, I need to have a big collection done. Nah, you don't at all, okay? Remember, I showed you Jasmine. She was still working on this Chadwick Boseman original, but she sold a pre-order print 9 a.m. the following morning, okay? Just by using her art story and having organic conversations on social media. And so again, you can use this right now to start selling art. Everybody put today. I put today in the chat because you can start telling your art story and selling art today, okay? So when you become an affluent artist, you get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. That's a $5,000 value, okay? And then part number 2, you're going to get an artwork gold account. All right, so I want you to imagine collectors buying your art from anywhere in the world. Like Jen, she sold Emergence in Power for $2,700. She said she was happy and grateful to have sold this piece. She was going to supersize her fries, right? And so when you get your artwork gold account, you'll be able to accept payments up to $1 million. You'll be able to easily sell your art anywhere, in person or online. You can track your art, your sales, and all of your collectors' information in one place. Collectors can buy your art with one click, just like they buy it on Amazon. And collectors can track their net worth in your art, all right? And also, you'll be able to save a lot of money and get rid of some things as well. And so if you got a website that's not selling, you're not making any money, you can get rid of it and cancel your website fees, okay? If you're using tools like Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, again, I want you to get paid, but at certain price points, collectors don't get receipts with these tools, and they don't want to spend $10,000 worth of art, and they don't get a receipt, okay? If you're using tools like Artsy, Etsy, Art Storefronts, and you're paying those fees and you're not selling much, or if the fees are just too high, you can get rid of them. Shopify, Artwork Archive, Fine Art America, same thing. You can get rid of those fees and save that money as well, especially if you're not selling anything. And then the most important thing that you get back is that lost time trying to figure this stuff out on your own. All right, we got a community. I'm the leader, and we are here to serve you, okay? And so again, I'm an artist as well. And so when I first started getting back into selling my art, I didn't know how to manage my art sales in one place, nor did I know how to track how much my collectors spent. I also didn't have a global marketplace where collectors could buy with one click. So I had to create artwork for myself. And so you're going to be able to save time and money, because over 6 years ago, I had to spend over $6,000 and 3 years figuring out how to create an app to solve this problem. I don't want you recreating the wheel. So I'm going to give you an artwork account with this package so you can skip the cost, the trial, and the error. All right, is that cool? Put cool in the chat. All right. And so again, I showed you earlier how fast artists are getting sales. Tierra said she uploaded some art. About 30 minutes ago, she got a notification that her piece sold. She said she was as shocked at how quick the sale happened, but great way to end the night. All right. And if you think you aren't tech savvy, listen, that is not a problem. We design artwork to be so simple that children could use it and be successful. Okay. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass, and you're going to get that Artwork Gold account. And that's a $6,200 value. Okay. And then part number 3, you're going to get access to our Affluent Artist community. And this is one of my favorite parts about doing all of this. So we got a real community. It started online, but just like in this image right here, man, we do art shows together. We go hang out at art events together. This was an event that we went to in Atlanta. My guy, Maya Bailey. Like, we got a real community of artists that are supporting one another and helping each other sell art. Okay. You will never be left alone. You can always ask a question and someone will be there to help you. All right. And so we got a global network of artists and collectors that love serving and that want to see you succeed. And so when you join today, you get access to our private Affluent Artist School community. This is going to give you the knowledge, community, encouragement, and the motivation you need to succeed in your art career. All right. And so you can access the program, community, anytime from anywhere in the world, and you get unlimited support. So you got 24/7 support posted inside the community. And we have a live weekly sales session to make sure you get all of your questions answered. All right. So you can always talk to a real person. Either I'll be there, someone from our team, all the other Affluent artists, and you can ask your questions live and get personal hands-on help. Okay. You will not do this alone. Okay. One of the things I love most about the community is just how we got so many different ages in here. So Sanyu, her mother signed her up when she was 9. And so she was using it, selling art. You see, she got the sales right there with her screenshots, and she got that cash right there. And then got a real community. I love meeting you all in person. All right. And so this is when I had the opportunity to meet Sanyu and her mom, Miss Jovan, when they came to Atlanta. Okay. And then Miss Phyllis, she was 73 when she joined, and she made a sale in her very first week. All right. And so, man, no matter where you are in your journey, you will have some newer artists that you can help and mentor, and you will have some more veteran artists that can help and mentor you, man. That's what really makes a community powerful, okay? And so just imagine being in a community of artists that want to help you 24/7. And so like my guy Sean here, he's a photographer. He said, lesson learned, follow up every time. You never know why somebody ghosts you. I thought maybe my price was too high for her or she was gone for good. Don't make up your own stories as to why they didn't call back. Just follow up and be polite. That's real game right there, okay? Because I know a lot of artists get ghosted, and you need a little encouragement from somebody who's overcome that so you can continue to sell your art, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get that Artwork Gold account, and you become a member of the Affluent Artist community, and that's a $7,400 value, all right? So artists, if all this did was help your art tell stories so your artwork truly sold itself, let me know how that will help your art career. Type that in the chat, all right? Let me know if that will help your art career. And if all this did was help you easily sell your art online in any economy, artists are using this to sell art right now, man. Art is recession-proof, all right? Artists are still getting this art money in any economy, okay? And if all this did was help you get an infinite amount of high-paying collectors following you and buying your artwork, let me know in the chat how that will help your art career, all right? Miss Anitra is brand new to this. She just got, like, in the last month, 25 days, she got over 504 new collectors coming to her about buying her artwork, okay? She's brand new to this system. And so artists, we're putting this together. I had 2 choices. The first option, I could go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but that wouldn't really incentivize me to stack the value, okay? So the second option, it requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, we can devote more resources to guarantee your success, okay? And so I know some of you artists, you here, you want to sell art for 10K or more. Put yes in the chat if you want to sell your first and next piece for over $10,000 like Isha right here, all right? And so Isha sold this beautiful 5-panel commission right here, $10,000. These are the kind of results that you can get when you use this system and start targeting these high-income collectors, okay? Spread the love. Let's get it, Ivan. And so what are your dreams worth to you? Right? If you were making money every day because you were successfully selling your art to collectors on Instagram, what would that be worth to you? Like, how much would you pay to have one automated collector system sell your art online 24/7? And so you can see why artists have paid over $10,000 for similar results from me, because it's not a cost when you do business with us. It is an investment, okay? It is an investment. And so you see why it's worth over $10,000, okay? And even at $5K for the general public, it's still a great deal. We got artists selling art for over $5,000 all the time. But because you watch this masterclass and I want to help as many artists as possible, I'm going to give you a very special offer. So when you go to affluentartist.com today, you won't have to invest anywhere near $5K, okay? And then sometimes we have a deal where we do 30% off. That's $3,500. You won't have to invest anywhere near that today. When you go to affluentartist.com, we got a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And also, we have a partnership with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna, so you can get started for as little as $47.96 if you use the Klarna option, okay? So go to affluentartist.com and sign up today, all right? If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, all right? I'll put this link in the chat real quick to make it easy for you to click, just in case any of you are on your mobile phone. Let me drop that in the chat for you and pin that at the top. Boom, all right? So go to affluentartist.com and we're excited to serve you, okay? And so again, when you go to affluentartist.com, you will notice that you have several buy now, pay later options. So we partnered with them because we literally wanted to make this as affordable as possible for every artist to be able to join our community, use this system, and start using that automated collector system, okay? And so if you use Klarna, they got 24 payments for $47.96. So you can literally get started for less than $48. And you also can use Afterpay and Affirm when you go to affluentartist.com. All right, if you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. Now, artists, if you're tired of putting time and skill into your art, only for buyers to continue lowballing you and not respecting the true value of your art, man, we got some powerful fast action bonuses for artists that join today, okay? And so bonus number one, I'm going to give you that luxury pricing method, and that's $1,000 value when you go to affluentartist.com. And so Christy, man, she used to undercut her prices all the time, thinking that this was the good way to make a sale, right? And so she's a single mom. She watched this same live event that you're on right now, and she ended up making $1,350 in the first 5 days. And she said, holy smokes, I reached out to an old friend and supporter of my art, and I landed a $1,000 mural job. The system works. I was thinking of asking $800, was hoping for $600, but I boldly asked $1,000 and she didn't hesitate, okay? So that luxury pricing method is going to show you how to ask for the prices that you really want and get them, okay? So no more discounting yourself and feeling bad after you make a sale. Get this luxury pricing method bonus, man. You're going to be able to raise your price, okay? And then my friend Jen, she just put the crying emojis when she sold Breakthrough 2 for $5,840, okay? The luxury pricing method is going to show you how to do this. And I showed you Brisha Jones, her story, because she was speechless about breaking her own sales record at the time for this abstract piece, Fearless Expanded. And so she said this was the biggest piece that she had ever sold, a 60 by 48. And it was for the highest price that she had ever sold at the time, $6,209, okay? You can get access to that when you join at affluentartist.com. And so I want you to imagine your confidence skyrocketing because your art story has collectors emotionally invested in buying your art at any price, okay? This is your new reality when you become an affluent artist at affluentartist.com, okay? And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You're going to be able to join the Affluent Artist community, and you're going to get that powerful luxury pricing method bonus. That's a total value of $8,400, okay? And then bonus number two, we're going to give you our automated collector system. And so if you have a website right now that's not selling for you, man, don't worry about it. We can give you ours, and it's guaranteed to get leads and sales. So all of our affluent artists use the same system. All you got to do is add your art, your story, and your videos, and collectors will begin giving you their name, their email, and their phone number, and coming to you about buying your art 24/7 using Facebook and Instagram ads, okay? And so this is what Christy used to get this $1,400 in a day and a half, all right? So she spent $45 on the ads. She had 800 likes, 200 comments, 100 shares, and over 300 messages from collectors coming to her about buying her art. She said, I got 14 sales and about 10 possibles, a day and a half, $45 and 14 hours work. She pulled in $1,400, okay? And so I know many artists, they suffer from that feast of famine income where you sell art some months and some months you don't sell at all. And so I spent years investing time and money testing which art ads and sales pages work best to turn clicks to collectors so you can have collectors coming to you 24/7, okay? And so when we get an endless flow of new interested collector leads joining your email list and buying your art 24/7, this gives you predictable cash to grow your art brand and your collector community while sales come in at the same time, okay? And so I showed you Miss Anitra, man, she was so excited when she started using an automated collector system. Collectors literally started coming to her day and night, 24/7, booking calls to talk to her about buying her art. And she's getting about 20 new collectors every single day coming into her email list and inquiring about buying her art, okay? And we helping her continue to improve her sales, and she is rocking and rolling, all right? So you can get access to this system when you go to affluentartist.com, okay? Living and Loving says we need money in our pockets, not outside. So this is an opportunity for you to get money in your pocket. There is an investment, but you can get started for less than $48 when you use the buy now, pay later option. All right, invest into yourself, and we're going to help you do the rest. Okay. And so again, if you already have a website that's not selling how you like, you can keep it or you can get rid of it because you can use ours to get new collectors coming to buy your art every day like clockwork. All right. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. And we got some powerful bonus. So we got that luxury pricing method and that automated collector system. And that's a total value of over $9,600 when you join at affluentartist.com. All right. And then bonus number 3, one of my favorite bonuses, you're going to be able to find your high income collectors with me on Instagram. Okay. So many artists struggle to get exposure to collectors that can afford their art at the price you think it's worth. But I spent over $250,000 on Instagram ads, figuring out the best way to target buyers with money. And so you get instant access to what's working now with Instagram ads and AI. And so I showed you how we can target big brands like Sotheby's, put that financial layering on, and we can target the top 5% of income earners, the top 10% of income earners, and the top 10 to 50% of income earners, okay? So this is going to give you exposure to collectors that got disposable cash to buy your art at the prices that it's worth. You're going to be able to leverage AI to target the best collectors for your style, and you can predictably get new collectors 24/7 with ads, okay? And so when you start targeting high-income collectors and collectors that got disposable cash, man, you can really start to test out prices like Jen did. So she said, I got another deposit for a commission of $4,369 commission. I just threw out a random number, and they said, can they pay it in 3? And then Jasmine, when she started, she was like, Sherez, man, I need to make $5,000 a month to be able to go full-time and quit my job. She turned on this system, started using the Instagram art ads. She ended up making $5,527 in the first week. All right. She was so excited. She said, I've been going through this inner circle with Sherez, and it is gold. All right. So you can get access to this to be able to find your high income collectors with me when you go to affluentartist.com. And so we have artists making sales every day, man, like my man Dwayne right here, Mr. Sean Moki, Miss Valerie, Miss Phyllis. They were both 50 plus when they started the program, and they sold in their first week. And so if you wanted to get like real hands-on in-person access, we do have the $1 Million Artist Mastermind, and that's a $25,000 investment for artists that want to get to their first sales, okay? But because you are joining our community online, man, you literally can get started for a fraction of that. If you use the buy now, pay later option, you can get started for as little as $47.96 when you go to affluentartist.com to enroll, okay? And so if you would go back to art school, hire an online marketing agency or attempt to get a dealer to sell your work to collectors for you, it might cost you $100K into tuition, 50% of your profits, or years of your life trying to figure this stuff out, okay? You can skip the $100K, you can keep the most of your money, and you can get access to a system that's working right now when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And so even if you finance it with Klarna, that's only $1.60 per day to start selling your art online. That's literally like a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's, all right? Klarna, they have the most affordable payment plan for $47.96. Highly recommend you use that. A lot of artists use that to get started. It is a drop in the bucket to be able to get access to a system that's helping artists sell art for $5,000, $10,000, thousands of dollars over and over and over again, okay? And so artists, if you got a question, type your question in the chat. But right now, you got two choices, all right? Again, you can use this, you can do this on your own, and that's a worthy option of pursuit. You literally can start using your art story to start selling art today, okay? Just like Jasmine did, you can pre-sell art before your originals are complete, okay? We gave you that game for free. But if you want to work with the Affluent Artist team and you want to become an Affluent Artist, you can have us responsible for your success to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month when you take action and implement this system, okay? And we're so confident in our ability to help you sell art that we have a 110% money back guarantee. So sign up now. If Affluent Artist does not help you sell more art and get more collectors, you'll have two options. Option number one, you follow the steps. If for whatever reason you don't like selling art or getting a bunch of collectors every day, you decide it's not for you, you can win 110% of your money back, okay? Option number two, you will grow in your Affluent Artist journey, and we will personally help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month when you enroll at affluentartist.com, okay? Now, why do I do this? Listen, we do it for a very selfish reason. That's because I know it's a win-win. This makes it a no-brainer for you to join, and I know we can help you succeed. We running this same play to help artists over and over and over again, all right? And so when you sign up, I know for a fact one of these two things will happen. One, you will set up our automated collector system, get 10 or more new collectors every single month, all right? People are getting 20 or more new collector leads every single day with this system, okay? Or you would try it out, you decide it's not for you, you can win $1,100 from us just for giving it a shot, all right? Now, there are a few qualifications to get the 110% money back guarantee, all right? So first, you got to earn 100% completion by watching the Affluent Artist Masterclass. Second, you got to take action on the Affluent Artist Masterclass, okay? You got to do something. We want you also to attend the live sales session every week so we can answer your questions to make sure that you're not stuck and spinning your wheels and trying to figure stuff out on your own. And most importantly, use the wisdom to sell art, okay? And then we want you to share your results about your Affluent Artist experience on social media, okay? And so either way, your profit is guaranteed. Option number one, you follow the steps. For whatever reason, you decide it's not for you, you can win your money back. Option number two, you decide you want to grow as an Affluent Artist, and we will continue to help you get 10 or more new collectors every single month, okay? When you join at affluentartist.com. And so artists, the real question is it worth taking a few minutes to just check this out, all right? Of course it is. Because even if it does half of what I've shared today, it will pay for itself as soon as you sell one painting for $1,000, all right? And so I like to tell artists this all the time. You're literally just one collector away from transforming your art career and your life, okay? When you start targeting these high-income collectors with Instagram ads and getting your art in front of collectors that are already spending millions on art, I mean, you're just one collector away from transforming your life, okay? So you can get access to this system when you go to affluentartist.com. And so when you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get 3 powerful bonuses. So you get that luxury pricing method, the automated collector system, and you'll be able to find your collectors with me. All right. That's a total value of over $10,600, but you can get joined for a fraction of that when you go to affluentartist.com. Again, if you want to use the buy now, pay later option, you literally can join for less than $48 if you use Klarna. Okay. Now, artists, you might be looking at this blank white screen right here. This is an intentionally blank white screen because what I'm about to say next, I'm going to cut this out of the replay recording, okay? This is a special just for artists that are here live. All right, when you join today, if you join before the end of this webinar, you're going to get a free lifetime artwork account. All right, it's a $1,200 a year value. It's normally $99 a month. It's going to be free forever for you, okay? You'll be able to upload unlimited art. You can access collectors globally, and many artists sell art within the first 7 days, all right? And so again, artists, you are just one collector away, man. We're excited for the artists that's signing up. Let's go, EB. We're excited to get you in the community, but you get this free lifetime account for artists that buy live today, okay? When you join at affluentartist.com. So get started now, artists. Go to affluentartist.com and get signed up. We got a special 94% off for only $9.99. We partner with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna, so you can get started for as little as $47.96 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. If you need help ordering, Text join to 470-777-7549. All right, it's a total value of $10,600. We got a 94% off special for only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. And so again, artists are using this to make sales every day, man. Miss Yvonne, she sold Spidey senses to this young collector. Parents love it when they get the kids collecting art early. Diana says happy Friday when she get paid on Friday. My guy Dwayne sold this piece right here. My man Blue Robin was showing his first sale. Mr. Bill was sharing his sale. And so now at this point, I see some of you are signed up, and that makes me happy, man. We still got some artists here, though. And I can tell you might be getting ready to sign up, but maybe you got a question that you need answered first before making that decision. So let's address those questions in the time we have left. If you got a question, type the question in the chat. We are live, and I would love to help you as much as I can, okay? And so some artists want to know, what if I already have a website? And so listen, if you aren't making sales on your website, you can send all of your collectors to artwork, and you can use our automated collector system so you can eliminate hosting costs and those monthly fees, okay? Some artists want to know, do collectors need an artwork account? So collectors can buy as a guest, but we encourage them to get an artwork account so they can track their art collection, okay? How do I afford the investment? So listen, one of the ways that many artists afford the investment is they use what they learned on this free live event to sell their art. So Jasmine, she used her art story to pre-sell prints of her Chadwick Boseman piece. So she was still working on the original. She started sharing her art story and posting on social media, and collectors started buying before the original was done. All right, that's powerful. You can do that for free. And so there's really no excuse to not get the investment. All right, use what we taught you for free to start selling your art. Listen, if you start telling powerful stories and you start touching collectors' emotions, that's going to be a game changer for you and your art career. All right, and you can do that for free. It don't cost a dime to be able to start selling right now. Okay. Some artists want to know, how do I make the time? And so that's a great question. Brisha Jones, she had the same question. So she's a single mom with 2 kids, and she was really trying to figure out how can she make the time. And so we taught her a concept called a morning success block, and she used that to sell this commission for $2,572. Okay. And so listen, the morning success block is a really simple concept. All you got to do is wake up an hour or 2 earlier, or more if you can. You got to have the discipline to get in bed on time. But all you got to do is wake up an hour or 2 earlier and give the freshest version of yourself and the most rested version of yourself to your art career. Okay. So think about it for a second. If you wake up an hour or 2 earlier, you start working on your business, you taking care of your action items, you getting things done, and you do that before your house wakes up, your family, your kids, and you do that before you go to work, right? You're going to have an enormous leap in your success versus if you continue working on your business after work and after you've given the best, freshest, most rested version of yourself to the rest of the world, okay? And so we make the time by waking up just a little bit earlier and dedicating that first little part of our morning to our success when we are freshest and at our best, and you're going to start to see your career take off and take leaps, okay? Can I do this from anywhere in the world? Absolutely. As long as you got the internet and Wi-Fi connection, you can absolutely do this anywhere in the world. So Miss Joy, she's all the way up in Canada. You see, she got that $4,000 of Canadian cash on the table. Man, it all works, man. This is a absolutely wonderful system, and I love serving artists in different parts of the world, okay? What if I'm just getting started? Listen, that's a great question. And I actually think if you're just getting started, that's the best place to be. Why? Because you don't have any bad habits to unlearn, right? So many artists, when they've been doing this for a long time, respectfully, they can be a little hard to teach because they think they know everything. So if you just getting started, though, we can show you this system from the ground up. And one of my favorite stories to illustrate this, so Miss Tierra, when she became an affluent artist, she started selling art, she having all this success, and she inspired her kids. And so her kids were 2, 5, and 7 years old when they started. And so she started teaching them about finances, about setting profit, about creating a mission statement, buying supplies, setting goals, and creating their art stories. And so these kids, they set a goal to sell $250 but they actually started pitching to their friends and family, and they made over $500, man. So imagine that for a minute. Imagine when you were 2, 5, and 7 years old, whether it was a mother, a father, a friend, a family member, if they had a system they could give you to start selling art, and the first time you start creating some art, you made some money. Imagine how that would change your entire trajectory of your art career and how your confidence would be different. Like, I literally wish I had somebody like Tierra or like me helping me when I was that young. But this is the power. If you're just getting started, man, you're in the right place when you join at affluentartist.com, okay? Some artists want to know, is the process too hard or technical? Listen, it's actually really simple. And even when it is technical, we hold your hand step by step, okay? And so if Miss Valerie can do it at 68 years old, she sold over $10,000 in the first 4 months. And a lot of the technology was new to her, all right? She's a senior. She's a grandmother. She said, feeling blessed. Everything is falling into place. The program works. I gained 3 new collectors. Man, did this when she was 68 years old, all right? So if a 68-year-old grandmother can do it, you can absolutely do it too, okay? And so artists, I know some of you are trying to figure out, man, how can you join, right? And listen, you got to get the resources or you got to be resourceful, okay? I've shown you some ways that you can get the money right now. You can start using your art story to start selling art on social media or to your friends and family or to your network or to old collectors, okay? You can also use the buy now, pay later option. When you go to affluentartist.com, you can get started for as little as $47.96 if you use Klarna. And so Miss Stacy, when she joined, she was having some financial issues as well, but she decided that she was going to be resourceful to invest into her art career. And when she joined, she was so excited. She said, yes, it works. Made my call to a friend that said she wanted these paintings when they're done. I called her and told them that they are done. She could buy 1 for $250 or 3 for $600. She took all 3. And there's something magical that happens when you surround yourself with other winners who are doing big things. And so Miss Stacy literally went from struggling financially to being resourceful and finding the money. She implemented the program, started making sales immediately. And the next thing she knows, she's being invited to present her art at the Founder Phoenix Hotel, where she lives in Phoenix, Arizona. And so imagine that transformation. She went from not knowing how she was going to get the resources to join the program, but she said, you know what, I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to figure this out. She joined, she starts selling art. And because she's surrounded by the affluent artist community and other winners, man, she is being invited to showcase at hotels' grand openings, man. That is a beautiful story, Art, and that's why I love what I do and love serving other artists, okay? Some artists want to know, is there too much competition? Listen, absolutely not. Man, I'm an artist, but I'm also a collector. If you were to look around my home, I got art from so many different people, artists, cities and states, different countries that I've been to. And so when you join this program, man, you are entering a place of abundance. There's more than enough abundance for everybody. There's different collectors that like all of our styles, and many collectors will buy from me, you, your mama, your sister, and your cousin too, okay? What is the artwork commission? It is only 10%. All right, we got one of the lowest commissions in the industry. But more important than that is you get to keep all of your collectors' data, all right? We want you to build a one-to-one direct relationship with your collectors, okay? Because in my experience, I've learned that galleries and dealers, in addition to them taking 25 to 50% of your money, they often do not give you your collector data, right? One of my teachers from college, she was one of my favorite art teachers, Miss Joyce Owens. I remember her telling me a story that she was working with these galleries and these dealers, and they would never tell her who bought her artwork, right? And so she didn't like that, but you know, they helping her get some sales, so she didn't really have a whole lot of say in it. And she's up in Chicago, and so she was saying that one day they did this magazine profile on a collector there, and the only reason she saw that this big time collector had bought some of her art was because she saw a piece of her art in the portrait of the picture they took of him, like standing in his like living area with all of this different art he bought from different artists, right? And I was like, that really blew my mind. And galleries, they do this because they don't want you to cut them out of their commission, right? If you can go direct to the collector and build a direct relationship with them, that collector can buy straight through you. But galleries don't want to give you that information a lot of times because they're trying to keep that middleman percentage, all right? So we don't do that. We don't middleman artists. We're artists as well. I want you to have your collector name, email, phone number, and build a personal relationship so they continue buying from you direct, okay? What budget do I need for ads? So you can get started with as little as $5 per day. Okay. If you got a higher budget, you can start with more, but you literally can get started with as little as $5 a day. I showed you how Christy, she got a $700 sale just by spending $7.53 on ads. All right. So you can get started. It's not expensive to advertise either. Okay. And so, artists, listen, I'm on the other side of this now. So I can tell you, being a full-time artist, it really beats working a 9 to 5. And so, like Mia, when she went full-time, man, she started getting these commissions from collectors. She got a $2,000 piece right here with a $1,000 down payment. Beautiful, beautiful piece for this 2-year-old bedroom. Man, I was actually blown away by this. It's like hearts, like some heart balloons, man. It is super, super fresh, all right? But, man, when you start going full-time and collectors really start valuing what you create and your God-given talent, man, it's a game changer, all right? So sign up and enroll with us at affluentartist.com. And so, again, man, the community, that support that you get from us is really what begins to create your success habits, okay? And so when you join a community of other winners, there's a lot of powerful transformations that happen. One, you're going to be inspired by so many other artists because I see it time and time again. They're like, hold up, if you can sell art at this price point and it's the kind of art you create, it's like a friendly little competition that kick in. It's like, hold up, if you can do it, I know I can do it, right? That happens all the time. But then also, because artists are selling and we have a culture of sharing what works, we don't hoard the wealth, man. We're going to teach you exactly step by step what we did to do this, okay? And so, man, it's all, it transforms your career when you join a community of people that are actually supporting you and helping you get your art sold as well, all right? And so, artists, if you got a question, type your question in the chat, all right? I'm going to stay as long as we have questions, okay? And so if you're here right now, artists, if you've been searching on YouTube, Google, Instagram, reading books, or trying to find ways to sell your art, you know information alone is not enough, right? You need mentorship. You need a system. You need a step-by-step process to follow. You need a community of people that encourages you and that holds you accountable to your goals and the things that you say you want to do for yourself, okay? And so if you want to start selling art and getting booked and busy like Miss Toya right here, join our community at affluentartist.com. I'm excited to see you on the inside and help you get started, okay? I see some of you guys are ordering. Make sure you check your email for your receipt and that welcome email so you can get access to the community, and that's where everything is, okay? And so as we close out here, you got to ask yourself, artists, do you want money or do you want excuses, okay? Do you want the money from selling your art and selling it at higher prices because you're targeting high-income collectors and you got collectors coming to you asking about it 24/7 because you're advertising? Or do you want to hang on to the same excuses that you've been holding on to? Oh, I don't have enough to invest into myself. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get started. Oh, I don't have enough art created, all right? Or any of the other reasons that you tell yourself in these stories that you hold on to keep yourself stuck in the same place, okay? So my guy, Jonte, he was on this same class that you're on right now, and he decided that he wanted some money, all right? And so shout out to him. He sold his $2,000 lamb piece to these friendly collectors right here. You get access to this same system when you go to affluentartist.com, all right? And artists, I got to get you to calculate the true cost of inaction, okay? And so ask yourself, what if this helped you just start selling just one piece per week, all right? Whatever your price point is, would that be worth $1.60 per day? Of course it is. Even if you're only selling art for $100 right now, it's absolutely worth $1.60 per day if you use that financing with Klarna, okay? But the big question you got to ask yourself is, what's the true cost of inaction? Is it really worth missing months of art sales because you're trying to save $1.60 per day, right? It's June right now. If you do the same thing you've been doing for the rest of June and you don't make any money, there's a cost associated with that, right? Because that's money you could have been making, but you didn't because you procrastinated or you didn't invest into yourself, okay? What about July? What about August? All right. And as these months add up and you're missing out on sales that you could have made if you invested into yourself, that's the real cost of inaction. All right. Procrastination is not free. Okay. You got to calculate the lost income if you could have transformed your situation. And so if you follow this, one of the steps I shared on today's event, you can make a profit in the first week when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. And if you need help ordering, you can text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. Another way that you can get the resources is you can ask your family and friends to be your investors. Okay. Miss Valerie used this. Miss Kelly, she did that. She started selling art the first week in the program. All right. She said, thank you, Sherez, for your help. I will continue to grow and get better. All right. Also, PayPal has a great option as well. So you can get PayPal to invest into you with their PayPal credit option. You got to go to paypal.com/credit to apply. You will know if you get improved within minutes. Okay. And so theirs is great because they have no payments plus no interest if you pay in full in 6 months. And so you literally can get a PayPal credit line, become an affluent artist, have 6 full months to use the system, install it, start selling art, getting collectors coming to you, and then you can pay PayPal back and tell them thank you for investing into your art career. All right. So there's several different ways to help you invest into yourself and get started. Okay. Again, when you go to affluentartist.com, we got partnerships with Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. You can use the buy now, pay later. All right. And so if you need help ordering, you can text join to 470-777-7549. And if you use Klarna, they got 24 payments for only $47.96 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. Okay. And so artists, the time is now, man. We're excited for everybody that enrolled. Congratulations to all the new affluent artists. Man, if you want to get like Miss Raquel here, she said after connecting with Sherez and noting and actively implementing the wisdom that I learned, without negotiation or hesitation, this collector purchased this piece at my $1,200 asking price. I am beyond grateful for the knowledge and the quick turnaround. All right. And so she was having the experience like a lot of artists. Man, she said people were telling her that her prices was too high. She had spent a bunch of money on coaching and marketing, trying to find her target audience. But when she started working with me, she implemented it. All right. She actively implemented the wisdom. That's the key word. You got to take action. And without negotiation and hesitation, the collector bought it at her $1,200 asking price. Okay. So artists, let's accomplish your dreams together, man. I'm excited to serve you. Congrats to all the new affluent artists who enroll. But listen, as a fellow artist, I know your struggle with selling art is real. But when it's gone for your life, like how will you feel? How much better will your life be? Think about that for a moment. Like how much stress does working a job and never having enough money cause in your mind and your body right now? All right. Because after you join, it's gone, literally. Like, can you feel that difference and can you feel that ease? All right. That transformation starts by going to the link below and joining now at affluentartist.com. All right. So I'm going to come out and walk you through the checkout process and show you how to enroll. Okay. And so when you go to affluentartist.com, it's going to bring you to our order page. All right. And so, again, we got a special offer for artists that join today while we're still live, but you still have a little over 72 hours before the special 94% off price expires. Okay. And so we're going to recap the offer here. You'll see the 110% win your money back guarantee. And all you got to do is enter your name, your email, your phone number, your address, and choose your payment option. Okay. We got 2 plans. We got the 94% off affluent artist plan to do it yourself. Some artists want one-on-one hand holding. And so we also have this offer as well for 4K. Okay. But here, if you want to talk to our team and get a one-on-one fast sales success call, all you got to do is check that box to add that to your order. All right. And so when you come down here, you can use PayPal. You can also put in your 16-digit card number, the expiration in a year, the CVC, your country, your zip code, and click join now, and you will be enrolled. Okay. If you want to use one of our partnerships with Klarna, Affirm, or Afterpay, like if you click Klarna, they have a 24 payment plan for $47.96. So you can get started literally for less than $48, man. It is incredibly affordable. I'm so grateful to be able to partner with them so everybody can access this program and this system. And we're excited to serve you and see you on the inside. Okay. So after you do that, click join now, go through the full process to make sure you set up your payment arrangement with Klarna, and they'll get you enrolled. All right. And again, you can use Affirm and Afterpay as well. All right. Let me come on back. All right. So artists, you got a question. We still got several artists here. Type your question in the chat, man. I'm going to recap the offer. You got a question? Let me know in the chat. All right. Let's get to it. So again, get started artists. When you join today, you're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You're going to get access to the Artwork Gold account. You become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You're going to get that luxury pricing method, the automated collector system, and you'll be able to find your high income collectors with me. All right. That's a total value of over $10,600. We got a special 94% off for $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. Again, we got partnerships with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. And so you can get started for as little as $47.96 if you choose Klarna. All right, but you can choose any payment plan to make it affordable for you to get access to become a member of the Affluent Artist community. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right, we got some questions. Please ask your questions in the chat and let me know how I can serve you, okay? Ask your questions in the chat. Let me know how I can serve you, and we're excited to see you on the inside, all right? I'll stay as long as y'all have questions. If I don't see any questions, then I'll be getting up out of here, okay? But we are live. I'm here to help. So talk to me. Man, and congrats to the new artists that joined. I see some of y'all enrolled. Make sure you check your email for your receipt and your welcome email so you can get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. Man, I love doing these live, man. Be helping so many artists around the world. Man, I get excited about doing this, man. Tuesday is Trillionaire Tuesday, all right? This is where we help y'all start selling art. Every Tuesday, we're showing you how to sell art and get this money on the internet, okay? It's simple. It's easy. You just got to follow a system to get it done, all right? When you get mentorship, you surround yourself with a community of winners that's selling art, it rub off on you, all right? It becomes easy to get it done when you surround yourself with other winners that's making it happen, all right? If you got a question, type your questions in the chat. Talk to me, all right? Let me know. What do you think about the masterclass? What was your number one takeaway? All right? What are you going to do right now? What are you going to implement in your art career to start getting this money? All right, let me know in the chat. There's still a couple of artists in here. All right, if we don't have anything, I'm going to get ready to slide too. All right, so I'm going to do one last recap. I don't see any questions. I'm going to do one last recap. Get started now, man. We're excited to see you inside the community, excited to see your art and your introduction. So again, join today, man. You're going to get access to the Affluent Artist Masterclass. You get access to the Artwork Gold account. You're going to become a member of the Affluent Artist community. You get that luxury pricing method so you can start charging your work and getting paid for it. Bonus number 2, you're going to get access to that automated collector system so you can start getting collectors coming to you 24/7 from your Instagram ads. And if you want to start targeting those high income collectors that's spending millions on art with brands like Sotheby's, Art Basel, and Artsy, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many other ways that you can advertise and target your ideal collectors. That's a total value of over $10,600. You join today, you get a special 94% off for only $9.99 when you enroll at affluentartist.com. All right. If you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549. All right. We also have partnerships with Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna, so you can get started for as little as $47.96 per month. All right. I don't have any other questions, so I'm going to get up out of here. Peace and much love to everybody. See y'all on the inside. Again, you have a little bit over 72 hours to enroll before this 94% off expires. So go to affluentartist.com, get inside, and join today. Again, if you need help ordering, text JOIN to 470-777-7549, and our team will reach out to you to help you get started over the phone. All right. Peace and much love to everybody. We'll see y'all next time. All right.